with dialogue on issues. And I believe digital democracy is the way to go.
But they'll tell us, protest is as old as our constitution is. So it's enshrined, everyone has a right to protest.
It's enshrined in the constitution,
yes,
yeah.
So
well, I think it should.
It's even older, actually.
Yeah, I'm just saying for us as well, it is older than the constitution, but it is enshrined in our constitution. So everyone has a lawful right to protest if they want.
The Baltimore reason, it needs to change with time.
Yeah.
Because times have moved. Technology is now the order of the day. You can still demonstrate virtually. How many instances have we seen Kenyans on Twitter call even the mightiest, not only in the country but in the world?
Yeah.
So let's go digital. I fully agree, and with Patrick on this. I do know Twitter Spaces. Just before the elections, some of our diaspora members had Twitter Spaces where there were tens of thousands of Kenyans all over the world participating. So it's not difficult to get hundreds of thousands giving opinions. Maybe the new addition is the digital democracy part, whereby through data analytics, you can get what's the perspective and the views of the majority of Kenyans. These days you find a handful of people demonstrating on the street, and it's made to look like, the country is up on fire, and that's the desire of all the people. So I fully concur. Let's go technology. But also, while I respect the right of Kenyans and leaders to demonstrate or to picket whenever they want, but let's also be cognizant of what is it that we're trying to achieve. I know many are asking who is going to blink first. I don't think one needs to stretch the imagination too far to anticipate who is going to blink first. But in all this, remember, ICC, I don't hear many people talk about that, is watching. To be fair, when there was trouble in 2007, I think it was, I think former President Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila just missed going to The Hague by a whisker. If you ask me, actually, they should have been at the head of the pack that was going to The Hague. Why was President Kenyatta and now President Ruto the ones being dragged to The Hague and the two of them being left out? I think beware, those Kenyans who are tagging along, Hague is still very much alive, and I'm sure they're watching. That's what I would say.
Indeed.
Yeah, my biggest concern is we can't use the instrument of protest to change governments. We can use the instrument of protest to improve the policy posture, to have them change course, and everybody must listen. And I think it's been great that the protesters have not been roughed up by police the usual way we do it, meaning that their messages have been heard, and you can see that even the government is realizing that those are powerful messages. But we went through an election last August. I personally lost that gubernatorial part of it, but we went through an election. Decisions were made. And it personally, I find it, what kind of banana continent are we going to be? When you get a whistleblower, somebody from some country out there, the kinds of things that's how the capture of our territories, in the colonial period was done. These guys roamed around, they looked around, and they saw what they could gain or not gain. I mean, it is too cheap to get that kind of basis to go into all of this. I am in favor of protest. I'm completely against using it to change government.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I wanted just to hark back to what the Business Daily is holding for us. That the dollar breaks above 145 as markets ignores CBK rates.